Hi all, I'm going to go ahead and get started on our practice for this evening. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've picked one from each column, and as you're working on them, that should mean that your 3 should not match my 3. Okay, so think about that going forward. I'm okay with like 1, maybe even 2 matching, but all 3 should not be the solution here for you. I'm going to get started on this first column of graphing, and I am going to be doing number 3. Okay, so instead of scratch paper, I'm kind of squeezing mine into the side, but remember I did suggest that you have scratch paper out when you do these. So when I'm looking at number 3, like equation A and equation B, the first thing I need to do is get the equation into slope-intercept form. So this first equation here, for equation A, I'm going to go ahead and get into slope-intercept form so that I can graph that. I do not need the 3x on the left side, so that means I'm going to move it over to the right side. And when I move it to the right side, it becomes a negative 3x. Okay, and that plus 14 is still there. Now, to get rid of that negative 2 on the left side, what I'm going to do is divide everything on the right side by negative 2. So on the left side, I'm left with y, then the equal, and on the right side, negative divided by a negative is a positive. So I have 3 over 2 is my slope. 14 divided by negative 2 is negative 7. Okay. So for equation A, my y-intercept is 0, negative 7. And my slope is 3 over 2. If it helps to see it, remember that's up 3, right 2. Okay, let's go ahead and graph that one. 0, negative 7. Going up 3, 1, 2, 3, right 2. From that point, we're going to go up 3, right 2. Then we're going to go ahead and draw our graph, right? All the way through the coordinate plane. Okay. All right, now what we've got to do is equation B. And I'm going to try to get that a little straighter on that line. Okay. So now we're going to do equation B. Well, equation B, same thing here. We are going to move things over so that we can get that y by itself. So I don't need 5x on the left side, so I'm going to move it to the right side. So I will have 6y is equal to negative 5x plus 42. Then what I'm going to do is divide everything by 6 because I don't need that positive 6 on the left side. I don't need it multiplied to y. So I'm going to divide everything. So I will have y is equal to a negative divided by a positive is a negative. And positive 42 divided by 6 gives me positive 7. So for B, my y-intercept is 0, positive 7, and my slope is negative 5 over 6. So 0, 7, go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not going to happen for me that way. So once I have those 2 lines, I can go ahead and graph those. Okay. Now here's the problem with graphing. If we don't get our lines straight enough, we end up with something that looks like that, where we can't really tell exactly where the 2 lines intersect. I will tell you though, in this case, if my line was straight and accurate, they would actually meet right where these 2 are. So that would be one solution. And the solution would be x is 6 and y is 2. Okay? All right, so that would be for part 3 in the first column. Now in the second column, I'm going to go ahead and do B. Okay. Now with these ones here, we are going to solve using elimination. The first thing I look at are the x's lined up? Yes. Are the y's lined up? Yes. The equals stacked up, and are the constants stacked up? Yes. Everything seems to be stacked, so I don't have to move anything from left to right. However, I do have to look to see which ones I can eliminate. Well, if I wanted to eliminate the x's, one would need to be a positive 3x, the other would need to be a negative 3x. So that's not going to work for me. If I wanted to eliminate the y's, one would need to be a negative 7y and the other would need to be a positive 7y, which currently it's not that either. So I have to be able to cancel out the x's or the y's. So in this case, neither of them can be eliminated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that whole first equation and I'm going to multiply it by some value so that I can either eliminate the x's or eliminate the y's. And I'm going to go ahead and try to eliminate the x's here. Okay, so if it's currently a positive 3x and a positive x, then what I need is for that x to be a negative 3x. So I'm going to multiply this whole first equation by negative 3. So I will have negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative y is a positive y and is equal to, which gives me positive 24. Now the second equation, I don't need to change any, so it's just going to be 3x plus 7y is equal to negative 14. Now if I would have changed something, then that means these here would not have been negative 3x and positive 3x is what I need them to be. So I don't want to change anything in that second equation because it already works for me. Okay. So the negative 3x and the positive 3x, they are eliminated. Okay, the whole process of elimination. Oh, I made a mistake here. Let me go back and correct it. So I don't like to just not fix a mistake. I like you guys to see where my mistake is. Okay, so I'm going to put a bubble around this because there is a mistake in here. All right. Really what I should have is negative 3x plus 3y, because this negative times that negative is a positive, and then I have 3 times y is equal to 24. Okay, so I want you guys to see where I made that mistake. So if you can go back and correct that, please do. The second equation I don't need to change. So that's 3x plus 7y equals negative 14. Okay, now we can add them together and this should work out nicely. Negative 3x plus 3x gets eliminated. 3y plus 7y gives me 10y, and 24 minus 14 gives me 10. Divide both sides by 10, and we get y equals 1. So there is our y value. Now what we need to do, though, is we need to find the x value. So we're going to substitute that into one of the original equations. So either this first equation or into this second equation. Well, to me, the first equation looks easier. Even though it has a negative y, it looks easier because it has less numbers or smaller values. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one. So I have x minus, we're going to substitute something in for y, equals negative 8. Okay, up here we said y equals 1, so in for y goes 1. Then, to finish simplifying that, we have x minus 1 equals negative 8. Add 1 to both sides, and I get x equals -7. So the solution for that one should be -7, 1. Okay, so if you're graphing, number 2 for graphing, your two lines should intersect at -7, 1, which would be right here. That is where those two lines should meet because it's one solution. Okay? All right, number 4. So with number 4, the first thing we have to do whenever we're solving a system with any type of graphing is get it into slope-intercept form. So for equation A, we have 4x minus 3y is less than 18. All right, move the 4x to the other side. So I have -3y is less than -4x plus 18. Now, this is where I want to, instead of multiplying -3 times y, I want to divide everything by -3. Okay, so I don't need it on the left side anymore. But when I divide by a positive or negative number, we have to flip the inequality. Negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I have 4/3x, and 18 divided by -3 gives me +6. Okay, so for equation A, the y-intercept is at 0, 6. The slope is at 4/3. And with the inequality, y is now greater than, that is going to be a dashed line. And y is greater than the graph. Okay, this part here is what we're using to graph. So y is going to be greater than our dashed line, or solid line, dashed line. Y is going to be greater than our dashed graph. So what we are going to do is shade above that graph. Okay, and because there's so many pieces to part A, I'm going to go ahead and just graph that now. Then I will go back and do part B, or equation B. Okay, starting at 0, 6. Then going up 4, right 3. Or going down 4, left 3. Okay. Again, that is a dashed line. And we are going to shade above that dashed line. Okay. All right, now for equation B. We have 2x plus y is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, move the 2x to the other side. So I've got y is greater than or equal to -2x plus 4. Okay, in this case, y is now by itself. There is no negative or coefficient that I have to divide off. So for equation B, the y-intercept is at 0, 4. The slope is at -2 or -2/1. It is greater than or equal to, which means it is going to be a solid line. And y is greater than the graph. So we're going to shade above. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and graph this one, starting at 0, 4. Going down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and draw that one, which is a solid line.